Shadow's easily my favorite character in the Sonic universe. So today I'm building the largest, full body, Shadow Lego MOC on the internet. Welcome back to Bricks Creations. In my last video, I built a movie accurate Shadow Lego head. First of all, thank you for all the lovely and supportive comments I've received. But I also received a lot of hate because I didn't know the official set was based on the game design and not on the movie design.
Look!
Still, I think it looks really bad. So, after reading your comments, I asked a simple question. Do you want me to build a full body Shadow? And your answer was very clear. So this is me atoning for my mistake and giving Shadow the build he deserves. Let's start. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up, beginning with the shoes. Shadow's shoes are very complicated with many design elements, but we can roughly divide them into three main parts. The iconic golden rings, the upper section, which is made of white and black regions, and the red base, which contains his jet boosters. Wait, what do you even call this part? I never studied shoe. The outsole. I just googled it. Alright, and the red outsole, which contains his jet boosters. Starting with the red outsole, I'll build it from three different sections. I'm using these 2x2 round bricks for his boosters. The front section needs to be placed at an angle, so I'll add these slope pieces to fill the space, like this. Let's use these large round corner bricks for the shoe front. Let's keep this aside for now. Many of you asked whether the building instructions for the Shadow head would be made available. Initially, the answer was no. At the time, the model simply wasn't at a standard I felt confident releasing. However, over the last month, significant upgrades have been made. The quills have been reshaped and lengthened. The top stripes widened and made more pronounced. And the overall structures has been reinforced for durability. The build is now fully solid. And with that, the instructions are now available. You will find the link in the pinned comment below. Now let's return to the main story. Okay. To make the black and white designs around his shoes, I'm using a bunch of brackets. Now we can start building in different directions. To attach the front part at the tilt, I'll use a T-pneumatic bar and these three 1x1 clips. Let's cover some of these gaps. Now I'll make some details for the top. I'm using these 2x2 round plates with axle holes to make connections for his legs later. Lastly, his iconic golden rings. And with this, the shoe design is done. What do you guys think? Because I don't want to bore you guys, I've built the other shoe off camera. Let's now move on to the legs. They will be coming off his shoes, and based on that scale, they need to be roughly this wide. So that's what I have in mind. I'll use these elongated plates, then use brackets to be able to build in different directions. And then I'll attach the brackets together. That's basically the core idea behind the leg design. Alright, let's build it. This bolt connection is for his ankle. And these bricks with axle holes are for the hip connection. Finally, I'll cover everything up using slope bricks. And that's how the first leg looks like. Now for the other leg, I could make it straight as well, but that's boring, right? And I want to give him a more of a dynamic pose. So I'll make it bent instead. To do that, I'll use the same building technique, but instead of using a straight plate, I'll use these modified bent plates for the knees. Now I need to fill this gap here. To do that, I'll attach one pin connector with a stud in both sides, then run a short bar through them. Now, when I connect this bar with a clip to an inverted 2x2 curved piece, I can use it as Shadow's knee. For the sides, I'll be using more slope pieces to clean everything up. Here's the final look. I know some pieces have their own color, but these are the pieces I had while I was filming. Okay, I just realized that this leg needs to come off at a tilt for the pose to actually work. See, I want it to be tilted like this. As my favorite Lego YouTuber would say, let's give it a heart surgery. Or a shoe surgery in that case. I don't know. Let's just work on it. I'm gonna use this piece here because it gives me enough degrees of freedom to get the angle I want. Now let's rebuild the shoe around this mechanism. To make sure it doesn't come off, I'll use more brackets to lock it in place. Now I can finally place this leg at the angle I want. Alright, let's put the ring back on, and now the legs are officially complete. I need the feet to be stable to build the whole body, so I made this platform to hold everything in place. Okay, let's put this aside for now and start working on the rest of the body. One thing I didn't notice until now is how small Shadow's torso is relative to his head. And not only Shadow, that's true for most of Sonic characters, except Dr. Robotnik, the exact opposite. They give him a massive belly and a tiny head. I'm not sure about the small torsos, but it might be because of the original design constraints on the Sega Genesis. You know, back then, Sonic was only 39 pixels tall, and even smaller when rolling. And to make the characters instantly recognizable at that resolution, they needed big expressive heads. And that design kind of stuck, even in modern versions. Anyway, his torso can be simplified into this curved shape. Luckily, Lego has a piece that lends itself nicely to that shape. These 3x8 curved wedges that mostly come in spaceships or car sets, I don't know, this is what I believe, they do match the curve of his chest almost exactly. I'll add these 2x6 curved wedges on the sides and these slopes at the bottom. That already captures his front geometry really well. Okay, let's integrate this with his legs. If you recall from the previous video, I used these Technic lift arms for the head connection. So I'll need to include them here as well so I can connect his head later. While I'm at it, I'll also add connection points for his arms as well. Since I don't have studs on the sides, I'll add snot bricks so I can style them later. At this stage, I'm basically adding slopes, curves, and wedge pieces to match his body geometry. Now for the sides. And the same for the other side. Alright, now his torso is almost complete. Just very few final touches. His iconic white chest fur. His two back quills. And his tail. And now his torso is complete. Before attaching the head, we need to design his arms. So let's work on that. The arms themselves are pretty simple. It's the hands that will need more attention later. I'll use these 2x2 round pieces for his arms. You know, just like the legs, I want to make a dynamic, non-boring pose. So for the right one, I'll give him a closed fist like this, and for the other hand, his palm will be open like this. Okay? So let's start on the fist. This is the back of his hand. Now we need to build the curled fingers and the thumb. I built 2 more. I know Shadow has 4 fingers, but 3 fingers just fit the Lego scale I'm using much better. I think I added 1 extra plate here. Only the thumb is remaining. And now it's complete. What do you guys think? The last remaining part before attaching his head is his left arm. The arm design is very similar to the other one. The axial bolt connections are for attaching his fingers. Alright, here is how his open palm looks. What do you guys think? Personally, I don't like it. It kind of looks like he's telling us to stop. I don't know. It just seems a bit unnatural to me. Maybe I can still keep his hand open, but make them hold something instead. I think that should look better. Okay, I'll quickly work on that. Here is the updated palm. I slightly curved his fingers to make them look more natural. I built a green Chaos Emerald, using mostly transparent green slopes and tiles. Alright, the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's attach his head to his body and complete this massive build. And here it is, Shadow's fully completed Lego model. I hope you guys like it. This is by far the most complicated and one of the largest Lego models I've ever built. I really believe we've given Shadow the Lego build he deserves. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and share with me in the comments below ideas for the next build, not necessarily from the Sonic verse. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.